Hey, how you doing? Coach Chris Wilson here in the Criticalbench compound with Mr. John Hansen, who is natural Mr. Universe and the first natural Mr. Olympia,
Correct.
too, right?
Right.
And John has been around. He's been training for a long time, for decades now.
Right. 40 years.
40 years. Yeah, I don't want to make it sound, but he looks amazing, obviously. So, but we were talking before we decided to film this about the number one mistake that he sees in the gym with beginner level or younger people. And I thought it was very important from a guy like this who knows bodybuilding better than anybody, what that mistake is and how people can prevent it.
Well, Chris, one of the best ways to get bigger is you have to train with heavy weights using the compound basic movements.
Right.
And that's what I did when I was younger. I always really pushed it. I tried to train as heavy as possible for that 6 to 8 rep range, using the basic compound movements: squats, military press, bent over rows, deadlifts, T-bar rows, etc. Now that puts a lot of strain on your lower back.
Right.
And now that I'm in my 50s, I'm feeling that. I have compressed disc, and I have to try to work around that. I can't do deadlifts anymore. Wow. I still do a lot of the other exercises. I still do squats. I still do bent over rows. Yeah. But I have to be really careful with my lower back, and I do have back problems. So when I see these younger guys and girls training very heavy, doing really heavy squats, really heavy deadlifts, you asked me if I could do one thing over again, if I could do it all over and go back in time.
Yeah.
I think what I would do is I would be a little more careful with that, be more careful with, I think those exercises are important and they're very critical to getting bigger and stronger and changing your physique. But I think if I had to do it all over again, I would be more careful with pushing it that much, maybe get a little more medical attention, go to a chiropractor more often, get x-rays of my spine to see how it was developing, to see how things, if there was any changes going along the way, and just be a little more careful of that, because you don't feel it when you're younger.
Right.
You do feel it when you get older.
Well, that's just it, because you feel when you're younger that you're invincible.
Yeah, you do.
And
you almost are.
And you kind of are.
Yeah.
All your hormones are working in your favor.
Right.
You feel very strong.
Right.
You have limitless
Joints aren't hurting.
Yeah,
right.
Nothing's hurting yet. So unless there was an actual injury, you just kind of keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
But unless you're a power lifter that is training for a real goal,
for strength,
lifting weight one time for one rep, it's probably better to work with those sub-max weights and be more volume-based, which translates really to improved muscle mass anyway, depending on some other variables.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, you could cycle your training and train for a while for strength and size, and then change it up and train a little lighter, more repetitions for more of a pump. You don't have to do that all the time, because I believe in training heavy. I think that's what really created my physique. And I think if you look through the history of bodybuilding, the best bodybuilders were also very, very strong in the basic exercises.
Yes.
And that's what creates the muscle mass. So you can't really get away from that. And I think if somebody would have told me when I was in my 20s, hey, you better be careful. When you get to your 40s and 50s, you're going to start feeling it. I don't think I would have listened to them. Because I was going to do whatever I could to be the best that I could.
Of course.
But I think you just have to train a little smarter. I think, going to a chiropractor more often, just checking things out, seeing how your spine is during that time, and maybe cycling your training up. I think it's really a smart thing to do for the younger people.
And we realize too, one last quick point I want to make about, strength and size comes over time. You can't really fast forward your way there.
That's true.
Because ultimately, the muscles might be getting bigger, but there's all these other things like the bones and the ligaments and the tendons and all these other parts to the body that don't get there as fast.
Right.
So you have to be a bit more patient with them, and that's where sleep and nutrition and taking a day off and
absolutely
and really understanding how progress is made. It's really not an overnight thing.
Yeah, you have to get the recovery. Absolutely, that's a big part of growing. But you're right. It does take time, and you start to lose the form also when you start to try to push the weight too much.
That's right.
So, like you said, you made a good point. It does develop gradually over time, and you can push it, especially when you're younger. You've got a lot of time, and it's going to develop. So it's better just to follow that good form, follow the good principles of training, so you don't end up hurt.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I'm so glad I got to share this with you, with a bodybuilding legend, Mr. John Hansen, here at the Criticalbench compound. Look for some more videos with the two of us talking about all things health and fitness and strength related. Very good stuff. And before you go, I want you to check out a free report, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click that notification bell for more videos from us, one every single day. And here's that free report I got for you.